this session of Definedge Guftagu. Today we have another full-time trader from all the way from Chennai again, and he needs a bit of introduction because he is not active on social media at all. In fact, I don't even know whether he has a Twitter account. Maybe he has, but he's not active at all. But hardly anyone knows him. But whoever knows Sriram, which is Raminations on Twitter, Mukesh Shah is our guest today, and he is a partner of Sriram, and he also has a very long journey in the stock market. So welcome Mukesh, and very nice to have you with us today.
Thank you very much, AP.
So if you can just begin with how your journey started. I mean, you know, Sriram journey is more than 30 years old. So if you can give some information about your journey.
Yeah. So I started my career as a finance manager in one of the dairy cooperatives in Chennai after doing my post-graduation in management. So somewhere in 1986, we applied for the membership of the stock exchange and we got one in the professional category. And since then, we are in the stock market. So to speak, if you were to relate myself with Sriram, then just 3 years senior of Sriram in this profession.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't know that.
And once the broking activity was at its peak, so we thought that there is nothing other than broking as far as share market is concerned to us. But then this K10 stocks, somewhere in 2000, we got into the act of trading because somehow it got into our blood that you buy today and sell tomorrow, you make money. So we thought, okay, with all our working extra capital, we could at least buy. So, you know, we are the ones who have bought at 2,500 Himachal futuristic. Okay, I am the one.
Yeah.
And honestly, a larger quantity. Okay, which we sold way down after 1,000 rupees. We were
Yeah,
not
it went
used
from lower circuit to lower circuit straight away, right?
Yeah. We every day morning we would wait for the circuit to open so that we could make our exit. It never allowed us to do that. Finally, we became anemic. All the blood was out, and then we sold. And what we finally got was a chicken feed out of our capital, actually. So that was the first time I thought this is not the way to trade. So either you just restrict yourself to broking, or you learn some scientific approach to trading. So that is how I started. My first lessons were with Mr. Prem Kumar of Business Line. Those who were reading Business Line, who were avid readers, of course, he's no longer writing in Business Line, but earlier he used to, and very nicely used to write. A good following he had those days. So he took my session, and then he said, "You are not fit because you have to unlearn so many things in the stock market. You are coming with a baggage of 17 or 18 years of irrelevant knowledge of the stock market," he told me. He openly told me, yeah. And he broke my ego to the core. from being a leading broker of the stock exchange, I had to listen this or hear him out on this matter. And he literally very politely told me, "Sir, you cannot, I cannot do any tutoring for you. You please first unlearn all these things, and then we will see after 6 to 8 months." And by the time 6 to 8 months could go by, he had shifted out of Chennai. He has moved to Coimbatore. So that was it. That was the first seed of wanting to learn what this technical analysis is all about. Though I had studied that in my financial management books and all, but then when it came to stock markets, I had to relearn this whole thing. So 2003, 2004, 2005. I started my career by trading in 50 shares of Satyam Computers and 5 shares of Infosys. That was my total basket, and it continued for 10 months.
You mean only that, nothing else?
Nothing.
Oh, that's great discipline, actually.
Only these two, nothing else.
50 Satyam and which else?
5 shares of Infosys, 50 shares of Satyam.
Oh, Infosys. Okay.
only these two. And that is when my daughter was just, she graduated from a college in Chennai, and she took up what is known as CMT. Okay.
Yeah.
I still remember I had written a mail to Prashant Shah to recommend there are 2 recommendations required for admission as a CMT member actually. So I had
Right.
written Mr. Prashant Shah just by the name. I said, okay, I'm Shah,
Oh,
he
Mukesh
is
Shah.
Shah.
Okay.
Build some link, and that is how we started. But 2007 was the first year when we sincerely and seriously started trading, and our first system was moving average, exponential moving average, 10 by 20. And thereafterwards, of course, I think many listeners would be aware of how Sriram had described our journey from 2012 onwards, and today we are here.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, that's been a fascinating journey. How, in fact, the biggest thing which I can take away in the first 5 minutes is how there is a baggage in everyone's mind, and you need to unlearn a lot of things to so that there is space to learn new things.
Absolutely, sir. Very, very much essential. I tell you, it's a very serious thing, and I never took Prem Kumar's words in a very bad light or any offending light. I said, yeah, that is the right way to do, and I have been sincerely trying to go about doing that. Today, I've come to a stage where I don't read newspapers and I don't have TV.
Yeah, in fact, that is also extremely important. You do only do what the chart tells you. That's all.
That's it. That's it.
So
So
apart
coming,
from, I mean, what Sriram has mentioned about the various trading systems. So, how much time or how much role do you have to play in identifying new systems? In case
yeah.
you are looking for some, I mean, do you look for new systems in the first place?
Always, sir, always. We are even today looking for new systems. So
Yeah,
every deck, whether it is Decma or Decnotch or wherever we attend, wherever I go, I do note down the viewpoints of other traders, and then in the best possible way, I try to back test it actually. Then
yeah.
I'm telling you, out of my 10 or 12 systems today I am trading with. I'm trading today with 12 systems. Yes. 2 systems have been learned by me from Definedge, and I'm very
From?
successfully Definedge group.
Oh,
All my
yeah,
access,
yeah.
I'm going to share that. In fact, my screen shows only that system actually. I did
Yeah,
not know
right,
anything
right.
about Turtle. So today I think it is the best system that I have at least, I'm happy with this system. I would like to trade, and I can increase my stake to any length of the same money with the system. Very robust and very
Oh,
interesting. I'll come back to that specifically later in our interview.
sure,
So
sure.
coming back to the systems that we traded with. So in 2007, I started with the system of moving averages. And
Yeah.
Prem Kumar was the first person who told me, my dear friend, always understand one thing: trend is our best friend. So then I said, okay, then you tell me something about the trend following systems. Then he said, I will not tell you anything. You have to learn and read and see whatever suits your personality. So that is when I got into the depth of this trend following systems. I started manually writing down all the trades backtested for 2 years and 3 years duration. I remember that those days Viratech used to give us at the end of the day intraday charts.
Data,
Okay,
yeah,
so I used
yeah.
to see that at about 6 o'clock in the evening and start writing down all the trades. So I had back tested about 10,000 to 12,000 trades those days, and that there afterwards I decided that I will trade only Nifty. Nifty used to be a lot size of 100 at that time. Okay,
Yeah,
so I selected 10 by 20 as a system, and then I wanted to distribute my risk further. So then
right.
I selected 4 different time frames. So the day on which the markets crashed in January 2008, I think 18 and 21 to be precise,
Yeah.
we had positions in all the 4 time frames. All the 4 time frames we were short, and I remember me and my daughter, we were not in India, we were outside India, and we were trading from US in the night time.
Okay.
And I don't know, the world was crying that day, and even my other brothers who are here, they are normally bullish buy and sell approach, they were all crestfallen with the fall. But me and my daughter were having a party there in the middle of the night because the markets had frozen. Actually, there was a downward freeze, and we had an unimaginable amount of M2M that day evening. Actually, my daughter had never seen
Uh,
that kind of figure in her life. Okay,
I
even
can
she
imagine
started
that.
huge. It was humongous actually. but of course, all that was overshadowed by the blood on the street. So many clients losing
Yeah,
money, so portfolios getting wiped out and stuff like that. But otherwise, yeah, that was the day we realized that this should be our religion. Trading should be our religion with a discipline. So two things we learned on
correct.
that day: distribute your risk. You can distribute your risk across the time or across the securities. So that day we were
Correct.
trading only only Nifty, and we were trading in four different time frames. So that is how we started.
In fact, this is
Soon,
a bit just slightly sorry to disturb right now. This is
please.
something new which a lot of people might not have heard. Trading the same instrument but in different time frames. So there will be occasions where, of course, it has to be different accounts, no doubt. But there will be occasions where maybe two time frames are bullish, two time frames are bearish. So you are long in two accounts and short in two accounts, right? Isn't it?
You are right there, but I differ a bit from your this thing statement here. Account is
Yeah.
same.
Oh, is it? Then how do you
Yes.
trade it?
So what happens is uh, that straight away brings me to my current trading style and system, which I've been using for the last 9 years. Mm, I have 10 systems currently. Okay, I will go
Yeah.
exactly with present example. So I trade in 10 different systems. Okay,
Yeah.
so one system may be a 10-minute system, another system may be a 15-minute system, third may be a 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, and 75 minutes. Okay,
Okay.
now what happens is, assuming that I'm trading in Nifty, okay,
Yeah.
so in five different systems, having different parameters or having different time frames. Okay, so what happens is three systems are in buy mode and two systems are in sell mode. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have five different charts of Nifty on my screen.
Correct.
Now I see them individually, separately. I do not connect that with my overall system, overall positions and all that. No. If one system is giving a sell, I will straight away go and short sell. And all my trading, 100% is on stop and reverse basis. There is
Okay.
no distinction, and it is only on a continuous basis. So I am sitting on a tiger. If I get off the tiger is going to eat me. So I better not do that. I will continuously trade and no discretion allowed in between. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do not find any confusion in one system being long and another system being short. All that. At the end of the day, we are definitely telling. And I tell you, I'm happy to tell you that over the years, we have now become so much used to it that there is almost 99.9% no error.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so but it is very very advantageous AP. I tell you, especially during those periods of whipsawing, hmm, you are
Okay.
not getting sucked into in form of a drawdown, huge drawdown and all. See, every time or any time rather, the markets do move in waves, and some waves are conducive for some time frames, and some waves may not be conducive for other times. So what happens during most
Correct.
of those times? I make very little money or I lose very little money.
Yeah, that is extremely important. Correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That allows me to play longer innings and disciplined innings. See, there is no pressure of run rate. There is no pressure of hitting a six. There is no pressure of hitting a boundary or doing anything wrong or stupid,
Correct.
basically. No. All that is required is you have to come in the morning, log on, trade. If you don't trade, somebody else trades for you. In the evening, you read the report and go home. But when the
Correct.
market sets in on trends, I tell you, you will never know how you are making lakhs of rupees.
Correct.
So, so we are doing that way. We are successfully doing that way. Honestly, I would always like to share this with everyone who comes across and asks me on this, that you please distribute your risk as much as possible. So when
Yeah.
you
So
distribute
you
your
trade
risk,
only Nifty or stock futures also?
no, sir, we have a basket of stocks. Okay. So we have a basket of stocks. Now, that basket originally, till last to last year, that basket comprised of 55 stocks.
Okay.
That time we were trading with five systems. Mind
Oh,
you, this is a very serious business for us, and it is something like a factory or an industry. So we are
yeah.
we are very clear about who is doing from what location, what system, and how is it trading. Everything is being checked and looked into. I spend
Yeah.
most of my time doing that rather than discussing about CNBC or Z or anything. No, I don't look into all.
Right.
So this is
Right.
my bread and butter. So this is my screwdriver. So I tighten my screws with that. So what we do is as the days went by, the activity in F&O due to the increase in the value of the lot decreased, and the slippages were getting higher and higher. We monitor our slippages like anything. We have a chartered
Okay.
accountant who advises us only on slippages. Every
Okay.
weekend, Saturday afternoon, he is supposed to see all our trades, 100% of our trades, verify that with the help of a signal, whether that signal was right or not, and at that signal, what rate we ended up buying or ended up selling, what was the slippage, and what is the total
Right.
slippage. We monitor that. You will be surprised
Okay.
that there is a meeting subject on every board meeting. There's one agenda item that we need to discuss slippage costs.
I see.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So coming back to the basket. So we have currently a basket of 17 stocks. So many stocks had to go down because they were either not so active or the slippages were far too high. And we monitored
Okay.
the volume. The volume of that counter in that futures market should be such that our position should not be more than 1%. See, when I am trading
Right.
in 10 systems, and if I am long in all the 10, secularly long, then my position will be 10 lots long. If my
Right.
position is 10 lots long, then that script should be traded at least for 1000 lots in 1 hour.
Okay.
If that script is not trading for more than 1000 lots in 1 hour, then that script is out of our trading.
So this also
Okay.
you have to monitor continuously.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is a purely we are in a dynamic situation. It's not that you are
Correct.
set, good to go, and for days together and months together. It doesn't work that way. And if you try to do it, you will realize much later that certain scripts are just sucking your blood out, basically. So we are constantly monitoring. Now coming back to this, yes, today we are having 17 scripts in our basket. We are trading in
Okay.
this 17 scripts across 10 systems.
Okay.
So if you really see the math, then we would be having a position of 170 lots in equity. I'm talking about equity
Right.
right now, futures. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
the selection of scripts is done carefully based on the liquidity, and before being included into the basket, minimum 3 years of back testing is done
Okay.
on all our existing systems that we are trading. I would see all the for that matter, if any script is introduced very recently, I will not be trading in that counter at all.
I see.
Yeah. And if there is lot of suggestion coming in from our partners. Mr. Sriram is there, Kasturi is there. This is a good share. Why don't you look at it? Then at least I will reduce my horizon to 6 months, but nothing less than 6 months. Otherwise, that
Okay.
script will not enter my trading radar at all. Because
So basically, you are talking of scripts like let's say Deepak Nitrite, who have entered futures only in the last 1 year. So
not yet. They have not yet come in, sir. We are still testing them backwards. Every time I test them
okay.
back. You will be
Okay.
surprised. I have results of more than 1 crore trades with me.
I see. Huge.
1 crore. And out of that, first 1 lakh trades were manually written by me.
I see.
Yes.
This is
The first,
amazing hard work.
yeah, it goes. It goes. Every Saturday, there is a team of 3 more people along with me, my office colleagues. We spend on an average in a week about 20 to 25 hours for backtesting. Even today,
I see.
there is nothing called we have settled in the market and this is it. No, as you know, there is no system which can be said that it is the best system. You know
Yes.
about it. So
Yeah.
we have to be
Absolutely.
constantly and very eager to see we can improve, we can reduce our number of trades, we keep a track of so many things. So like for example, I'm trading in 10-minute system. For 10-minute system, I'll see how many trades are taking place over last 3 years. And for those 3 years, again, I break them into every quarter. So as to enter my basket, it should have performed for at least 10 quarters out of 12 quarters on quarterly basis. Yeah. And there are those 4 or 5 criteria. One is the volume criteria, second is the slippage criteria, third is the performance criteria. So these things are taken into account. I don't give weightage to sectoral things and all. No, there can be a situation where there are 5 banking stocks, banking and NBFC stocks, and maybe only 2 in petroleum industry, or 1 in a diversified group, or 1 in IT and stuff like that. Okay. So only thing that matters to me is performance, and that should have got a beautiful movement so that I can capture most of it. So that is my only criteria. Okay. So based on that, we select a counter and bring them into our basket. If the capital is sufficient, then we add 1 more counter. If the capital is not sufficient, then we are tempted to remove 1 of the counters. Okay. So that is how we make small adjustments in our basket.
And this kind of review is done how frequently?
The minimum that we do a review of this is 1 month, once in a month. That's the minimum.
Okay.
And sometimes some counters do create havoc. Like, for example, I can recollect and tell you last year, escorts moved from about 500, 600 levels to 1200, 1300 levels. It gave us a lot of money. Of money. But then in that 1100, 1200, 1300 range, it got stuck, and it used to be frequently getting into ban and stuff like that. So we really bled heavily. 15 days delay on our part had cost us more than 15-20 lakh rupees actually. Escorts,
I see.
Yeah, took a drawdown of about 15 to 20 lakh rupees from us. So what I'm trying to say is, we review it once in a month for sure by default, but if it calls for an earlier review, then that is also done over phone with 3 other partners, now 4 other partners. So 5 of us. We definitely, not that we are not making mistakes. We do make mistakes. We realize it late. But the basket and the diversification is so good that even if there is a poor selection or a wrong selection of 1 or 2 counters, it does not really seriously affect our finances.
So this is, in fact, you yourself rightly said at the beginning, this is seriously like a factory. It's not a desk job at all. It's like a factory. I really like that concept.
Yeah, it is. So I'm using, as I told you, realistically, actually, I'll tell you, I'm using 10-minute system, 15-minute system, 30-minute system, 60-minute system, and 75-minute system.
Okay.
So there are 5 different time frames. Secondly, there are only 2 tools across these systems. One is stochastic momentum, and second is exponential moving average. Very simple. Sir, I tell you, I like this particular slogan, what Mr. Prem Kumar taught me. In trading, simple is the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is no confusion in mind. Anybody can follow the system. And I personally don't put F1 and F2 orders, because as I'm putting, I would start working over the drawdown, and other things will start working on mine. So I'm not there. There are a team of dealers, and across geographies, they do it for us. So,
amazing. Yeah. In fact, this is the first time I'm talking to you about the so much work goes into identifying stocks, identifying systems. And I mean, hard work is fine, but you also need the passion, right? I mean, without passion, hard work will not come.
That is the true driver, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are using very simple Fibonacci numbers, and we are always eager and happy to share. But only thing is, people will have to bring in that discipline first. See, I'll tell you.
Which is very rare.
Very, very rare, unfortunately. Identifying system, in my view, is not as difficult as building the kind of discipline, having that kind of inertia to trade and stuff like that. Okay. I can tell you upfront, before anybody uses any kind of exponential moving average, I can generalize it, because I'm generalizing this over more than 1.5 crore trades. Okay. Not based on sample of 30 and 50 and 100. Okay. If we take it from me, if you are using any exponential moving average system for any time frame, your success ratio, very, very important, your success ratio will be between 30 and 40%, not more.
Yes.
And most
Correct.
likely be between 33 and 35%, most likely.
Okay.
Now, what does that mean? There are 70% chances or 65% chances that you are going to take a losing trade.
Correct.
One. Point number two, I have seen in our own trades that continuously, consecutively, you may lose about 11 to 12 trades.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So if your time frame is 10 minutes, then over 20 days, you may lose about 11 trades. If your time frame is 1 hour, okay, then over 1 month, for 1 month, you will come to the market, take a knock on that stock and go away. Now, why we are continuing here? We have got 170 different counters playing.
Correct.
So all will not be bad at all times. No. If some are not doing well, the others will definitely make up. Ultimately, we go home with a lesser drawdown or maybe a lesser profit. But the beauty of this exponential moving averages is, I'll tell you, 5% of the days, I am very, in a measured way, I'm making this statement, between 5% to 7% of the days in the whole year, 240, 7% of that is about 15 to 17 days maximum. Okay, you will make money, and that will be your total profit, and that will be your total profit for the year.
I see.
Yes, remaining 220 days, 225 days, you may make money, you may lose money, you may make money, you may lose money. If you have taken home, let us say 1 lakh rupees, and if you see your journal, trade journal, the top 5% of the days would give you 1 lakh.
This is amazing. This is, in fact, one aspect which I'm sure majority of the traders don't look into at all.
We look into STT, impact of STT, impact of stamp duty, impact of everything on our trades, sir.
Okay.
We have allocated 53 rupees towards brokerage and other expenses per lot.
Okay, so you have just made it as a standard 53 rupees.
53 rupees, yes. If government is going to change from 18% to 16% of GST, then I might reduce it to 52, and vice versa. If they increase it to 24%, then my cost will go up to 61 rupees or 62 rupees. But we monitor this. Yes, we do monitor this. I can also tell you, share with you based on our experience, because we have trade journals, sir. We have trade journal from 2007. I can tell you today, on 2007 or on that famous 2008, 17th or 18th of January, what rate I have taken entry of my Nifty and what rate I have exited. That is still recorded and journalized. Yeah, and I can tell you my daily profit or daily loss for this entire basket. So baskets have changed, systems have changed, but gross profit or gross loss for last 9 years I have got for every day. So all this is required. I'm not scaring people. I would like somebody to come and tell me that, hey brother, I'm doing better than you. I would like to learn something from him. Even at this age, I am still wanting to be a student, basically. But let me tell you, it requires a lot of hard work. And I request all our friends, trading friends, to please build this slowly. Maybe you trade with one lot of Nifty for 2 years. It is all right. But at the end of 2 years, the kind of discipline, the kind of conviction that you have built can take you straight away from 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 100 to 1000. So I trade in all the Fibonacci combination of numbers for EMA. That is another thing I can suggest to you. There are two different schools of thoughts. One is an American thought. They say 10 by 20, 8 by 50, 50 by 200. This is a different breed of combination. And then there is the Eastern breed or Eastern following, which says you take any alternative Fibonacci numbers greater than.
Okay.
Yeah. So the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Okay. So let's take 8 by 21 as 21, a combination. That alternative number. Or you can take, let me say 3 by 8. So likewise, any combination I'm telling you will work. There is no big rocket science on selecting a parameter. And 10 by 20, 18 by 50, and 50 by 200 are very widely followed. They can also be considered. My back testing has shown across these so many trades have shown that the best among the American combinations are 10 by 20 and 18 by 50. And the best among Fibonacci combinations, okay, are 3 by 16. There I made certain changes. Actually, there is a 3 by 16, okay, and 8 by 89, 13 by 34. These are all lovely combinations. You don't have to really do any backtesting if you have the discipline to take this kind of knocks. And you please understand that there are 75% chances that you're taking a losing trade. The probability say first trade you may lose is 65%. The second two consecutive trades you may lose, the chances are 42%. The three consecutive trades you may lose are 25% chances. Four consecutive trades, there's nothing but probability. 0.65 into 0.65 into 0.65, you keep multiplying, you will get to know there are 5% chances that you may lose 10 trades consecutively.
Correct.
So to the bleeding that we do on one particular counter or one particular system, to compensate for that, we have distributed our risk across the counters and across the systems. So that holds us in a very, very good state. I can share with you for last 9 years, my capital has never gone down below 88 rupees.
Below?
100 rupees capital has never gone down below 88 rupees.
Oh, so you mean your worst drawdown was 12% overall?
Yes, sir. Overall.
That's amazing.
Overall. That is very important. Overall. One counter I might have lost 30%, but then there are other counters which have given me money. My net NAV, net asset value, has never gone down below 88. And we all partners have started this company with a condition that if our capital becomes 50%, then we will close this, distribute back the capital, go back to the drawing board and start. That is what we had pledged on 3rd September 2012. That is the first day of our business. But God is so great and kind to us that we have so far not crossed below 88. So not reached 88 rather, not reached 88. So we are happy about it.
So let's come to the system which I mean you have been liking since last few months. I think the one which you wanted to show.
Yeah, see, this particular system I have been following for 1 year. This is very special to me, dear to me. Okay, and thanks to Definedge, honestly, I knew nothing about it, and I learned only from Definedge. Okay, so first, entire credit goes to Definedge. Okay, I would like to place this on record. Okay, so if that's okay. My favorite, what I found, favorite is nothing. Anything that performs becomes favorite. Very simple.
Naturally, of course.
Very simple. We are in money making business, and what gives us money is our favorite. Very simple. So I can tell you, I can vouch and say that 10 by 20 EMA 10 by 20 is a star perform. It's an all-weather system. Okay. Yeah. Now, how many trades you want to do? How many trades you can do? There are few people who don't want to do more trades. But the stop losses are very far. You know, I mean, if you don't want to trade much, then you give a larger stop loss. For one, that labor is cheap in India. We can do any number of trades. I can engage 10 people and do each one of them do 5 trades. Okay. So I try to stay restricted into a lower time frame and faster systems. Lower time frame and faster. Okay. Wherein the efforts are more, but the losses are less. I'm more interested in controlling my losses. I'm more interested in controlling my slippages and costs. I know the profits will grow themselves if you are able to keep a tab on all these things. Actually. Okay, so 15 minutes 10 by 20 is what I like the most, and 15 minutes stochastic momentum is what I like. These two are the best, I feel. Okay, they have a lot of efforts going into them, but I feel the losses are less in that.
Yeah.
Now coming to the new system that this is my newfound love, and this is 5-column turtle of Nifty.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And the box size is 7 points, absolute.
Okay.
And another parallel system I'm trading is Bank Nifty. This
On the same
system
parameters?
in Bank Nifty, again, it is same 3-box 15 points reversal. 7
15
points in
absolute.
Nifty.
Yeah.
Absolute.
Yeah.
I forgot one Gujarati gentleman was there. He recommended this system, and then we built upon this, made some small tweaks,
Yeah.
very small, and I
Yeah.
think working really well. I can share. In fact, I have any of these systems I've done back testing myself, and for point and figure, the back testing facility which is available in our trade point is not 100% accurate. So therefore, it
Yeah.
is
Because
not
of
acceptable. It is not
yeah.
acceptable to me, because in the point and figure, you really do not know where the minute ended and what was the last X and above what I have to buy and stuff like that. So
Correct.
we have done this manually, keeping the point and figure chart. I have kept 2 licenses of trade point. In one monitor, I am keeping the total point and figure. In another monitor, pure candlestick, just to know
Okay.
at that minute what was the closing. For that minute,
Correct.
what was the closing. Okay. So with that, I have found that on an average, you get one trade for 2 days, two
Okay.
calendar days. For trading days, if you see, it will be roughly zero point 0.6 trades or 0.75 trades per day, or put it in a weekly perspective, 3 trades per week.
Okay.
Okay. 3 trades for Nifty, 3 trades for Bank Nifty. I am trading live on this system for last 14 months.
Okay.
I started with 2 lots. Honestly, not to boast about our company, but just to convey the confidence level. We are today
Yeah.
trading for about 38 lots.
Wow.
My entry at one shot is 38 lots for Nifty, and I think so about 22 lots for Bank. Really a robust system, very good system, and I tell you, it keeps you very, very calm. That is the best thing about the trading. I like about this trading is the calmness which it demands from you, and if you are able to show that calmness, I think your life is much, much, much improved and better than most of the people around.
Yeah, and even the point and figure charts are also quite calm to look at. There is no noise on the charts.
Very true. In fact, I've been using this for the last 3 years now. Though I may not be using profusely for my trading, or my EPA, I mean, what should I say? Exponential moving average systems. They are all we have, bit certain logics around AMI broker earlier on. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's much different. But I use this personally. I use only this. So my mind is always at peace, and I'm not enamored by big greens and big reds and stuff like that. No. So this is
Yeah.
very quiet and truly noiseless. Truly noiseless. There is no noise about anything in the market in this. So I'm really enjoying it. And I tell you, this particular turtle system, maybe time permitting, some other time we would discuss this system specifically,
Yeah.
various aspects of that. But broadly, I am telling you, I have done this turtle study, back testing, since 2017. I've been
Okay.
keeping data. I have Metastock data for 5 years, AMI broker data for 13 years, and I'm
Yeah.
slowly building on the data of this thing, trade point also for last 4 years. So I have back tested that for last 4 years. And according to me, if see, I don't do leveraging for more than 2 times ever. Okay. So
Right.
if you want me to trade for one lot of Nifty, I keep 5 lakh rupees on table and then trade.
Right.
Okay, I know my returns get reduced because of lower leveraging. I'm not worried about that. I'm outperforming the fixed deposit. I'm outperforming the market. I'm outperforming any other form of returns that one can think of. I may not be doing 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, but yeah, 20, 25, 30%, I think is very much gettable. Very much gettable. Okay. So,
in fact, just to share one thing which I have been discussing with a lot of other trade point users, this works very well even on stocks. So maybe you can give it a try some other time in your research time.
oh, correct. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
There is one thing about trying this on stock where it prevents me is it requires a lot of attention. Though I have tried to use your scanner, I have tried this, but I have stopped it because it was taking a lot of my energy and time on this. I'll tell you, I am trading in 170 stocks with the help of two dealers.
I see.
Okay. Whereas for this, I have tried one full basket with our P&F systems. Okay.
Okay.
17 stock. I need two people. So what has
Okay.
happened, AP? Same amount of resources, human resources. I could do it much faster and much efficient way. Here, my staff are making lot of errors. They said, sir, it is not possible. We have to, have this much of slippage. So then I stopped. I'm very mindful of slippage, sir. The on
Yeah.
paper
Right.
do perform well, but practically, if there are a lot of slippages involved, okay, then it is not
Right.
possible. And these systems on trade point they are all 1 minute systems, as you are aware.
Right. Correct.
So 1 minute system takes a lot of efforts. In fact, my in a lighter note, my dealer used to say, "Sir, don't give me this system. I cannot even go to a restroom." Actually. So I said, "Okay, I understand your difficulties. We will not do it." So we have discontinued that. We have traded on your system for 4 months. Nothing wrong about the performance. On paper, it was better than my EMA. I'm telling you. That is how
Yeah.
I started. I was tempted to. But then I found that practically it was becoming difficult. We used the scanner also. We tried to use the scanner, wherein we would get a signal. But somehow we could not work on that properly. The slippages continued. Then I said, you please stop that. So we stopped that system. Otherwise, I'm
Yes.
telling you, these systems are really good even for your equity. I'm telling you. But
Yes. Yes.
there are
Definitely. Yeah.
scaling up. Secondly, scaling up. Now today I have reached 60 lots of Nifty and Bank Nifty. If I were to do 60 lots of equity or 30 lots of equity, it will be a Herculean task for me, basically.
Right.
So that is the reason.
Yeah, I think we are coming close to a session. I mean, the time which we normally allot, and this is absolutely fascinating. In fact, we have not met much the way I have met Sriram so many times. Of course, wherever we have met, we haven't spent much time discussing. But this was a seriously detailed discussion where there were so many amazing things which I realized today and learned from you. That I definitely look forward to meeting you again and discuss wherever, maybe in Chennai or you coming to Pune or some other time. But the bottom line is passion is definitely a must for any trader. You cannot take things for granted, and hard work. You can realize the amount of hard work he has put in over the last more than 15 years, not alone, with his team, and going through all the past trades and back tests and records, keeping records, continuously going through the records and reports, and then modifying that. And that is a continuous process. You need to note down one big statement which he made: I am still a student. That is the most important thing which everyone has to keep in mind. You have to be a student for life in trading. There cannot be something like, I have learned it all, now it's on auto mode. There is nothing like auto mode in the stock market, right?
Definitely, absolutely right. There is no cruise mode. There is no cruise mode in the stock
Yeah.
market. You are always
There is
have to
no
be
cruise
alert,
mode.
learn something. Yeah.
So it was very nice. It was definitely a nice session for me personally, and I'm sure viewers will like it. And I would like to thank you once again for accepting our request, and definitely we look forward to some more in the future. Thank you.
Same, same here, AP. Thank you, and all the best wishes to you and all the traders around. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye bye.